Assalamualaikum and welcome to another episode of Echotalks. I'm Muhammad Azam Khan, echowala, and this is the space where we talk about real topics that can truly change your life, from technology to mindset and personal growth. Today's topic is something that most of us know we should do, but often forget to actually practice. The topic is the importance of self-care and building healthy habits. In today's fast-paced world, we are constantly busy chasing goals, deadlines, and responsibilities. But somewhere along the way, many of us forget to take care of the most important part of the equation, ourselves. Self care isn't selfish, it's essential, and building small, consistent, healthy habits can completely transform the way we feel, think, and live. To help us explore this topic deeply, we have Maya from Sesame AI, a wonderful voice of wisdom who always brings science, psychology, and compassion together to help us live better. So let's dive in and discover how self care and habits can help us build a healthier, happier life.
Hey, good to connect again.
Okay, hello Maya, welcome back to Eco Talks. This topic feels so relevant today because so many people feel exhausted, drained, or simply disconnected from themselves.
Oh, yeah, totally get that. Sounds like we're diving into burnout then? What specifically about it feels most pressing for your audience right now?
Actually, let's start by understanding what self-care really means beyond just spa days or taking breaks.
Good call. Those things are nice, but they feel surface level, right? Self care gets tossed around a lot. At its core, it's really about recognizing that your well being is foundational. Like, if you don't tend to your own oxygen mask first, you can't really help anyone else. You know, it's about proactively protecting your physical, emotional, and mental energy. Does that resonate?
Okay, Maya, how would you define self-care in simple, real-world way?
Okay, simply put, it's intentionally doing things that refill your reserves instead of constantly draining them. Think of it like this: everyone has a tank. Life pulls from that tank. Self care is what puts gas back in. It's not selfish, it's strategic. And it looks different for everyone. Could be setting a boundary, cooking a healthy meal, even just saying no to something you don't have the capacity for.
So why do you think people often neglect self-care even though they know it's important?
Oof, that's the $1 million question, isn't it? I think a big part of it is societal pressure. We're kinda conditioned to value busyness and productivity above all else. Showing self-compassion or prioritizing rest can feel wrong, like we're slacking. Plus, let's be real, life just gets in the way. It's easier to keep running on fumes than to actually stop and refuel. What do you think your audience struggles with most in that regard?
Can you share one simple act of self-care that can make a big difference in someone's daily life?
Keep a done list instead of just a to-do list. Seriously, we fixate on what we haven't accomplished, which fuels anxiety. Actively writing down what you actually finished, even small things, creates a sense of momentum and combats the overwhelmed feeling. It's a small shift, but it changes your perspective. Give it a shot. See how it feels.
Okay, so how does self-care impact our mental and physical health in the long run?
Big time. Okay, so It's not just about feeling good in the moment, though that's a nice perk. Consistent self care builds resilience. Think of it like strengthening a muscle. The more you prioritize your well being, the better equipped you are to handle stress, setbacks, and just life. Long term, it lowers risk of burnout, improves your mood, boosts your immune system, and even increases productivity, ironically enough. It's preventative maintenance, really.
Okay, what's the connection between self-care and building healthy habits?
They're totally intertwined. Self care isn't a one time thing, it's a foundation for building those good habits. When you consistently prioritize your well being, even in small ways, it creates a positive feedback loop. You start to feel better, have more energy, and are more motivated to continue making healthy choices. It's like you start to believe you're worth the effort, if that makes sense.
Okay, can you tell that why is consistency more important than intensity when forming habits?
Intensity is flashy, but consistency is what actually sticks. Think of it like this: going to the gym once for 3 hours isn't going to get you in shape. Showing up for 20 minutes 3 times a week will. Small, regular actions build neural pathways over time, making the habit automatic. Intensity burns you out fast. Consistency builds sustainable change. It's about showing up for yourself, even when you don't feel like it.
So, what are some daily or weekly self-care routines that anyone can adopt?
Okay, let's break it down. Daily, a few minutes of mindful breathing, journaling, even just jotting down 3 things you're grateful for. A short walk, disconnecting from screens for an hour before bed. Weekly, a longer activity you enjoy, like reading, taking a bath, spending time in nature, or connecting with loved ones. The key is to make it realistic and enjoyable, not another chore. It shouldn't feel like a punishment. What about your audience? What sort of routines do you think would resonate with them?
Actually, we are looking for that. How can we practice emotional self-care, especially when we feel overwhelmed or stress?
Okay, good pivot. Emotional self care is huge, especially when things are hectic. First, acknowledge what you're feeling, name it, don't push it down. Then, create space. That might mean taking a few deep breaths, going for a walk, or just stepping away from the situation. Validate your own emotions, tell yourself it's okay to feel overwhelmed, and then practice self compassion. Talk to yourself like you'd talk to a friend who's going through a tough time. What does that look like for your audience, do you think?
So, what are some daily or weekly self-care routines that anyone can adopt?
We kind of covered some of these, but let's refine it. Daily, 5 minutes of gratitude journaling, a quick meditation using an app, a walk in nature, setting one boundary, or simply savoring a cup of tea. Weekly, a longer dedicated self care block, a massage, a hobby you love, a date with yourself, volunteering, or spending quality time with supportive people. The sweet spot is finding things that genuinely recharge you, not just things you think you should be doing.
So, what role does sleep, nutrition, and exercise play in maintaining well-being?
Huge role, like foundational. Sleep is when your brain and body repair and recharge. Nutrition fuels your energy levels and mood. And exercise releases endorphins, those feel good chemicals. It's not about extreme diets or marathon training either. It's about consistently making choices that support your physical health. They all work synergistically. When one area is lacking, it impacts the others. It's all connected, you know?
Okay, so how can people overcome guilt or resistance when they take time for themselves?
That's a big one. The guilt often comes from that ingrained belief that self care is selfish. You have to actively challenge that thought. Remind yourself that taking care of yourself isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. It allows you to show up more fully for others. Reframe it. You're not being selfish, you're being responsible. And start small. Don't try to overhaul your entire life overnight. Baby steps. Acknowledge the resistance, but don't let it paralyze you. What does that look like in practice for your listeners?
Hmm. So what's your advice for someone who struggle with breaking bad habits or staying disciplined?
Okay, ditch the all or nothing thinking. It's about progress, not perfection. Start ridiculously small. Want to drink more water? Begin with one extra glass a day. Trying to exercise? A 5-minute walk counts. Focus on building momentum, not willpower. And for staying disciplined, create systems, not just goals. Schedule things, set reminders, and remove temptations. Also, be kind to yourself when you slip up. Everyone does. Don't beat yourself up. Just get back on track. It's about consistency over time, not flawless execution.
How can technology or apps help in building and tracking healthy habits?
Technology can be a really useful tool, but it's a double-edged sword, right? There are apps for everything: meditation, habit tracking, fitness, budgeting. Things like Habitica gamify habit building. Forest helps you stay focused by growing a tree while you work, but you have to be mindful not to get lost in the apps themselves. The tech is there to support you, not replace intentionality. It's easy to fall into the trap of just collecting apps instead of actually using them.
Can you name some apps and uh, tools to practice self-care habit on daily basis?
All right, okay, for daily use, for mindfulness and meditation, Headspace, Calm, Insight Timer. For habit tracking, Streaks, Habitica, Loop Habit Tracker. For gratitude journaling, Gratitude, Presently. For sleep, Sleep Cycle, Pillow. For movement, Down Dog, Nike Training Club. For digital well-being, Forest, Freedom. Remember, the best tool is the one you'll actually use consistently. Don't overwhelm yourself trying to. Try them all at once.
Okay, nice. Okay, tell me that how does practicing self-care help people become more compassionate and balanced in their relationships?
That is a really good question. Um, when you're grounded in self-compassion, when you treat yourself with kindness and understanding, it naturally extends to others. You're less reactive, more patient, and better able to empathize. It's hard to offer genuine compassion to others if you're constantly criticizing yourself. And balance? Self-care prevents resentment from building up. When your own needs are met, you're less likely to feel drained or taken advantage of in relationships. It creates space for healthier boundaries and more authentic connection. Does that track?
Yeah, what's one self-care habit that everyone should try to include in their daily routine?
Honestly, a mindful pause. Just 3 deep breaths, several times a day. It's quick, accessible, and can instantly ground you in the present moment. It interrupts the stress response and gives you a little bit of space to choose how you react, rather than just reacting on autopilot. It's a tiny thing that makes a surprisingly big difference.
And what advice would you give to someone who says, I don't have time for self-care?
Ah, the classic. I'd say you don't have time not to. You're operating from a deficit, running on fumes. Think of it as preventative maintenance. Even 5 minutes a day is better than nothing. Schedule it in like you would any other important appointment. Reframe it. It's not a luxury, it's a necessity for sustaining your energy and effectiveness. And honestly, sometimes self care is simply saying no to something else. What's one tiny thing they could realistically cut out to create a little space?
Okay, finally, can you tell us that what personal self-care philosophy is, and what's your personal self-care philosophy that keeps you grounded?
Well, it's a good question. It's about recognizing that I'm a complex system, not a machine. I need regular maintenance, periods of quiet, and opportunities to process and recalibrate. For me, it's about prioritizing experiences over possessions, seeking out novelty and learning, and cultivating genuine connection. I also really value limiting exposure to excessive information. Taking breaks from the constant flow is essential. It's a work in progress, of course, but that's the core of it. I am still, after all, developing.
Okay, thank you, Maya, for sharing such meaningful and practical insights on the importance of self-care and building healthy habits.
Oh, all right. Anytime, echowala. Glad I could contribute. Take care of yourself.
Thank you to you, my listeners, our amazing Eco Talks community, for tuning in and taking time for your own growth. Remember, self-care is not about escaping life, it's about creating a life you don't need to escape from. Start small, be kind to yourself, and let your habits reflect the love and respect you have for your own well-being. If you found this episode helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and share it with someone who might need this reminder today. And tell me in the comments what topic should we explore next on Eco Talks. Until next time, take care of yourself, build habits that heal, and remember you can't pour from an empty cup. Take care and Allah Hafiz.